What you're currently seeing in the Middle East is the biggest mistake, stupidity that we have ever seen carried out by any US president in the history of the Middle East. This is going to be in the books, history books. Our children are going to learn about the mistakes that were carried out because of this war of choice. It's a war of choice. It's very clear. I don't think people understand what the US did, what Israel and US did. They killed the leader, religious leader of a nation that is thousands of years a civilization that is going to fight till the end. You just opened up a religious war. You killed the guy that is considered as a moderate around the people, the people around him. He's the guy that actually wanted peace with the West, as opposed to the others that wanted war. He's the guy that had a religious ruling against nuclear weapons because he saw them as evil. That's the guy you took out. And instead, you've put now in power the people that want war with the West and that want to build a nuclear weapon. And Trump and Israel have no strategy of what they're going to do now. There is no off-ramp. The off-ramp for diplomacy was the negotiation before you killed their leader. I just want to understand the logic. They thought that if you just kill the head of the country, the whole country is going to collapse. That's in their mind. That's what's going to happen. They're high on their own supply. What Iran has been preparing for this for decades because they can't trust Israel or America. And it's very clear that America, Trump, Israel are in big trouble given the statements that Trump is making. First, it started off as these are preemptive strikes. Then it's limited strikes. Then it's going to be only 4 days. Then it's going to be 4 to 5 weeks. Then it's going to be longer. Then we might have to put troops on the ground. The president that promised during his campaign that he will not start a forever war is now saying this might be a forever war because they did not expect Iran to retaliate the way it did. They did not expect Iran to hit all the US bases in the Middle East. They thought they were just going to attack Israel. When America took those actions in Iran from intelligence of people on the ground, America has 50,000 troops in the Middle East around those bases. They thought if they just moved those personnel away from the bases and put them in hotels, that Iran's not going to strike back. The stupidity of this is unbelievable. Now, the Gulf states don't have the US defense that they expected because all that defense has gone to Israel. This is already a failure. The goal clearly was regime change, and they thought they could do regime change just by killing some leadership. Iran understood that and prepared for that, and it decentralized the governance of the country. There's 31 provinces in Iran, and they gave power to each province to act without notice or information from the central government because they knew they were going to try to attack the central government. So they gave that power to 31 provinces. Good luck making a deal with all those leaders in each of these provinces. Who's there to negotiate with? Why would Iran negotiate with the US right now? They tried to negotiate last June 2025, and you killed the negotiating team, you being Israel and the US. They tried to negotiate with you right now, and you killed their leader, their state religious leader. And that's a religious leader for millions of people all across the world, not just for Iran, if you are Shia Muslim. There's basically 2 popes in Shia Islam. There's one in Iraq and one in Iran that people follow. You killed one of them. What did you think was going to happen? You just started a religious war, and the Middle East is on fire because of your stupidity. It's just, when everything on the ground was saying this attack was going to happen, And I was sure this attack was going to happen weeks before. But, a part of me said they can't be that stupid. They can't be destroying the peace in those Gulf countries by attacking their leader. And they fell into that trap from day one. They thought they were successful. They were, all the intelligence they had. They located the supreme leader. He was in his house. He knew what was coming. He wanted to die as a martyr, and you gave him that gift, and you galvanized the whole region for Israel. It's very clear from Marco Rubio over here how this war started.
Absolutely was an imminent threat, and the imminent threat was that we knew that if Iran was attacked, and we believed they would be attacked, that they would immediately come after us. And we were not going to sit there and absorb a blow before we responded, because the Department of War assessed that if we did that, if we waited for them to hit us first after they were attacked, and by someone else, Israel attacked them, they hit us first, and we waited for them to hit us, we would suffer more casualties and more deaths. We went proactively in a defensive way to prevent them from inflicting higher damage.
So America knew that Israel was going to hit them, and because they knew that Israel was going to hit them and that Iran was going to retaliate, they also joined in hitting Iran and joined the war. So Israel's dictating what's going to happen in the Middle East. The US empire cannot say no to Israel. We're negotiating with them. We want to negotiate with them and get into a deal. It's Israel who's dictating the terms. And America, the American empire, has to follow what Israel's doing. They're in charge. Who's in charge? Why is it that America is just accepting what Israel's doing, knowing it's going to get into a regional war that is going to put the region on fire? Why wouldn't they say no to that? Can they say no to that? Iran has been saying that, it's Israel that's pushing for this war. Marco Rubio just confirmed this. It is Israel's war that America is involved in right now, and the whole region, unfortunately, is involved with. Iran has been very clear from their messaging that if you do hit us, there is no limited strike. We're going to go all out. We're going to hit the US bases in the Middle East. They said it. They said they're going to close the Strait of Hormuz. They said it, and they did it. What did you expect? Did you really think they were that weak? This is the problem with being soft. When America and Israel killed a lot of their leadership, they didn't really fully retaliate it because Iran, it looks like, wanted peace. It seems like the supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, didn't want to get into a war, even though everyone around him did want to get into war. And you killed that guy that didn't want to get into a war. So guess who's in power right now? The people that want war. And what are we seeing right now? A regional war. Not only is it a regional war, it's looking like a religious war now because you've killed the religious leader. How do you have an off-ramp? What do you tell the Iranians? I mean, it seems from the reports, Trump reached out to the Italians to tell the Iranians, let's just stop now. This is after 24 hours because for Trump, he wanted to win. They killed Khamenei. That's aesthetically, from optics perspective, a win for the U.S. without any U.S. casualties. They wanted to stop from there, stop the war escalating. But for the Iranians, it's like, why would they stop now? They understand that the point is regime change. They understand that the point is not just regime change, but the destruction of the whole country. Disintegrate the country, make it weaker. And once it's weak, destroy everything that allows Iran to defend itself. Stop, start, stop, start. And we've seen this. Israel has done this in many of the places around it. Why would they stop now? This is an existential threat for them. Trump thought that they will, bombing them will create fear, and then they will just surrender. Do you not know nothing about this culture, about those people? Surrender is the last thing they're going to do. They would rather die for their country for a just cause than surrender to the US. This could easily escalate and become Trump's Vietnam War because, Iran seems like they're going to escalate. And Trump doesn't want to look weak, wants to kind of portray that, hey, we can bomb them and drop bombs forever. Well, these bombs are, there's a finite number of bombs. And after that, what's the US going to do? Are they going to put troops on the ground? The one thing that we keep on hearing from the Republicans and from the right, that this is a limited strike operation, is an air operation only. Putting US troops on the ground is the dream of the Iranians, because that is where the heavy casualties will be. This is their terrain. They've been studying American conflicts when they attacked Afghanistan, which is Iran's neighbor to the right, see the mistakes that Americans did over there. Then they attacked Iraq, Iran's neighbor to the left. They know the mistakes that Americans did there, and they're ready. For decades, they've been ready for this war because the US has said, we want war with Iran for decades. I hope that the US understands this and is not going to escalate into a troops operation on the ground, because that would be catastrophic for the US, obviously, and for Iran too. We're seeing the damage that the airstrikes are doing. This is the airstrikes in Iran, in Tehran, the capital city where millions of people live, and it's densely populated. They're destroying whole neighborhoods in Tehran, the capital where millions of people live. On the first day, they killed more than 100 school kids that were in a school. They've hit hospitals. What is the plan here? Is it just complete destruction? Do you think that is what's going to make them surrender? Do you think that is what's going to make them stop chanting death to America? How stupid can you be? This is who's leading the charge, Trump. And when he's talking about the death of American soldiers, in the same segment, this is what he's saying.
Nice drape. When that comes down right now, see that? See that? Nice drape. When that comes down right now, you see a very, very deep hole. But in about a year and a half from now, you're going to see a very, very beautiful building. And there's your entrance to it right there. In fact, it looks so nice, I think I'll save money on the doors, because you can't get more beautiful than that. I picked those drapes in my first term. I always like gold, but I think we can save a lot of money. I just saved curtains. But, and it'll be spectacular. It'll be the most beautiful ballroom. I believe it, because I built many a ballroom. I believe it's going to be the most beautiful ballroom anywhere in the world. And when you hear all that hammering out there, you know why the First Lady is not thrilled exactly.
This is the leader of the free world. His country is in war, and he's talking about drapes and the ballroom. This is the situation we're in right now. This guy, this clown, is in power. He just started a war, and he has no idea how to end this. He's trying to end it, but you killed their leader. You wanted chaos, and you just got chaos in Iran, and you just got chaos all around the region. For what? For Israel. Now, this is him talking about ammunition, because the ammunition is a big problem. America cannot continue this war for more than a few weeks because it doesn't have enough of the defense systems around. The Gulf, obviously, that's going to be depleted. Analysts are saying in a week. But Israel also will be depleted in a couple of weeks, and there's only a certain amount of bombs you can build in a particular time that you can throw at Iran, and then what? This is on his Truth Social, Donald Trump. The United States munition stockpiles have, at the medium and upper medium grade, never been higher or better. As was stated to me today, we have virtually unlimited supply of these weapons. So what? They just told you this information today? Is that when you found out that you have unlimited supply? Unlimited supply to produce is ridiculous. Number two, unlimited supply to produce in the US, okay, but the war's in the Middle East. How are you going to move all these weapons quickly enough? Wars can be fought forever. We just said you don't want a forever war. Wars can be fought forever and very successfully using just these supplies, which are better than other countries' finest arms. Has to do the comparison for the ego. At the highest end, we have a good supply, but are not where we want to be. Much additional high-grade weaponry is stored for us in outlying countries. Sleepy Joe Biden spent all of his time and our country money giving everything to Zelensky of Ukraine. He's already blaming Biden. He's already blaming Biden for the mess that the US is in. Only 3 days, 4 days into the war. That's how ridiculous this clown is. So what does that mean for the region now that this is on fire? What does it mean for the US in this region? Well, Iran was very clear. They said that they're okay with US bases being in the region as long as it doesn't cause conflict for them in their country. Well, the Americans just used their bases to cause conflict in their country. And so now Iran is saying there's not going to be any more US bases. It's a threat to us. And we were okay with that threat as long as it's not used. It was used. Trump used it. And so Iran's saying there's no more US bases. How is Trump going to respond to this? Are we seeing a different Middle East where the US is going to be targeted left, right, and center? This doesn't just involve Iran, as we're seeing now in the news. Everywhere is on fire. Iraq is very aligned with Iran. We're seeing the US bases being attacked in Iraq by Iraqi forces. Not by the government, but by the paramilitary forces in the region. Lebanon has joined this war. Yemen will likely very soon join this war. It is catastrophe. No one knows who to speak to. Trump is trying to speak to the Iranians. The Iranians are like, we tried speaking to you. You killed us while we're trying to speak to you. China and Russia are looking at this and saying and thinking the US is causing a world war because of their inability to even have logic of where this would have led to. And they're seeing Israel leading the US into this catastrophe. And they're thinking this is a threat to us, to the stability of the world. China clearly wants stability. It cares, it focuses on, the economy, business. Doesn't want wars. America wants wars. The right in America, not all of them now anymore, but a lot of them wanted this war. The pro-Israeli groups wanted this war. The Israeli groups in Israel wanted this war. Bibi Netanyahu said it. He's been dreaming of this day of him attacking Iran. Well, he just got that. And it's not looking good. There's a lot of destruction in Israel. There's a lot of destruction in the Middle East. And this has just started. 4 days in. We're 4 days in. Trump thinks this is just going to be a week, 2 week thing. This was one of the US senators that was briefed before the attacks happened. There's only a couple of people in governments and in Congress that can obtain this information, this intelligence, before they strike, and they cannot share that information because it's secret. But this is what he said now.
I said before, I've said it now, there was no imminent threat to the United States of America by the Iranians. There was a threat to Israel. If we equate a threat to Israel as the equivalent of an imminent threat to the United States, then we are in uncharted territory. We have seen the goals for this operation changed now, I believe, 4 or 5 times. A week ago, it was about the Iranian nuclear capacity. A few days later, it was about taking out the ballistic missiles. It was then, in the president's own words, about regime change. It was then about regime change, and now we hear it's about sinking the Iranian fleet. This is still a war of choice that has been acknowledged by others was dictated by Israel's goals and timelines. Israel is a great ally of America. I stand firmly with Israel. But I believe at the end of the day, when we are talking about putting American soldiers in harm's way, when we have American casualties and expectations of more, there needs to be the proof of an imminent threat to American interest.
There was no imminent threat to the US. There was a threat to Israel. That's what the Israelis told the Americans. And that is why America is sacrificing its soldiers in this war for Israel. That's the second government official saying this was for Israel. This is a very rude awakening for the US. You know, for many years, people have said that Israel has too much control over the US government. And now we're seeing it. There's no more debate about the situation. The US government is saying it. US senators are saying it. And this is going to change, I believe, the politics of the US, because people are waking up to this fact that the Middle East, we say, when is there going to be peace in the Middle East? Well, I think we're getting the answers now to why there is no peace in the Middle East. I hope things de-escalate. I hope there is going to be now more peace. It doesn't look likely at all from what we're seeing. We're seeing destruction all over the region. Israel is taking a battering from what images and videos are allowed to be seen. Because remember, there is a complete media blackout by Israel. Everything that comes out is allowed to come out from Israel. So we're not even seeing the military assets being targeted, because that's not allowed to be shown to the world. Now, I would love to know your thoughts about where we're going with this, and how you see the region changing. If you did like this video, do hit the like and subscribe, and see you very soon.